made me who I am today.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it, see how.
My name is Louis Spears. I am an educator and community leader, and I will be the next mayor of Jersey City.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are excited to be here with you. You know, as you guys know, last week we had to postpone lots of things going on, including the weather. But we are back with you. We didn't forget about you, and we will continue to be with you every other Thursday here, Facebook Live at 8 p.m. So, Louis.
Hey,
how
are you, Ms. Brown?
Sharing your strategies and your vision for Jersey City. How are you feeling?
I'm extremely excited. We have a unique opportunity to do something very special for Jersey City, and I'm so elated that I am able to lead in this space. So very excited.
Yes, we're coming into the home stretch.
Yes.
So talk to me. Let's start with the hurricane. You know, that's like the big topic of the most recent few days. People were severely impacted, including you. And so what do you have to say to the people, Jersey City residents who were affected by the hurricane?
So firstly, I just want to, send my condolences to everyone who was affected by the storm. My heart goes out to each of the families, each individual, anyone who was negatively impacted. My heart goes out to you. But Jersey City, we because of climate change, and anyone who doesn't believe in climate change, I have news for you. Because of where we live, we can be impacted by the weather events like this one, and we cannot afford to have residents lose everything each and every time. So it's just very important that we focus on the three main things: the remediation, the prevention, and the communication. Right? When we're talking about remediation, we still have the same sewage and draining systems from Sandy, right? We can do better with the remediation. And in terms of prevention, right? Having folks invest, and particularly the developers invest in smart technology where there are catchments on the buildings where it stores water, and other smart ideas like that. And then also with communication, I was amazed by how the communication happened with this last hurricane, with Hurricane Ida. You just listen to the residents looking on Twitter. There were so many missed messages. We should drink water. We shouldn't drink water. We should boil the water. We shouldn't boil the water. And we need to do better as a community. And when I become mayor, I'm committed to the long term and short term, but also making sure that residents are very clear about the next steps.
That was a lot to take in. So I like your three components, just in terms of the remediation part and prevention, because we definitely have a long way to go for that. So those of you who are watching, we have Deborah Armstrong. She's commenting that she was affected. So I hope you're paying close attention to what he's saying in terms of how we can prevent, inconveniences and tragedies and loss like that moving forward.
And absolutely. And something as simple as knowing what to do before, what to do during, and what to do after a hurricane will be very helpful for us. And it's something that's simple that could be implemented, right? Because we know in Jersey City with regular rainfall, what happens. So can you imagine what happens with a hurricane? And we just need our administration, our leadership to be proactive when it comes to informing the residents about what we need to do.
Absolutely. And so, while we're speaking about this, this week is dedicated to access and affordability, right?
Mhm.
Being able to sustain ourselves while living here in Jersey City. So, tell us about growing up here.
Well, so my story is I hope it's familiar to folks by now, right? Growing up in Booker T projects, subsidized housing, then moving outside of the projects with my family, with my mom, who was on Section 8, and my siblings. We moved around. We had a fire on Grant Street, and Grant. Yes. No, you can't hear. I'm on live right now. You want to say hi? Just say hi. You want to wave hi? Hi. All right. Let's get ready for bed, okay? Love you. Go ahead. All right. And so growing up, we had a fire on Grant and we had to move back to the projects, right? And I know all so well about, unstable housing and unstable living. And it's not necessarily because of what my mom didn't do, because she did her very best. But even back then, access didn't trickle all the way down, to the lowest denominators of the community, right? And so when I say that I want Jersey City to be a safe space for all of our children, I mean it. I mean that.
Absolutely. I just wanted to pivot and acknowledge those who are commenting, because though this is a live production, we just want to acknowledge those. So we have Zamunda Veda. He says the roof in our apartment caved in from the last storm. We still haven't received a response from the
Sorry about
mayor's
that.
action line after 9 days. So I did see that initially Hudson County wasn't included with FEMA, and I believe they are. So at some point we'll put okay, thank you. There's the link there, Mr. Vader. So that you,
That's actually on our website.
yes,
So if you click the link, yes, you will see all the resources that we
absolutely.
uploaded.
Great, great. So we're gonna keep it going. Jersey City is now considered the sixth highest expensive place to live in New York City, next to New York City, right? And so, what are you going to do to attack the housing crisis here?
So first and foremost, all affordable housing, all housing is affordable, right? If you're able to pay for it, that's affordable to you. So I want to destigmatize this idea of affordable housing, and I think that we need to be very clever in the way that we speak about affordable housing, right? I've been committed to this for the past 5 years to ensure that we create an effective inclusionary zoning ordinance, right? Where we are committed to ensuring that families were and are prioritized, right? And so we just want to make sure that the ordinance, before I get into the ordinance, I want to ensure that the residents have access to affordable housing. Every resident in Jersey City have access to affordable housing, and the housing costs in general should be no more than 30% of the area median income, or the AMI, right? And with that being said, 20% of all development should be set aside for affordable homes for low and moderate income families. Sorry. Yes, this is bedtime for him. So I'm like, weirded out a little bit right
But
now.
this is
Yes,
the real life, Mr. Mayor, right? You got to juggle the city, you got to
can take
juggle
it
the
back.
family. So this
So
is real life for
tell your
those of
mom.
our
Tell your
viewers who
mom,
are
and
watching.
I'll be with you in a minute, okay? Thank you. I feel like the guy, remember on on the news where he was speaking, and then two of his children came into the room, and his wife grabbed one of them out, and then grabbed the other, right? So just to get back to it, 20% of all development should be set aside for affordable homes for low and moderate income families, right? And just because it's 20% aside for low and moderate income families, that the amenities and quality should be comparable to market rate units. And so that's how we're going to ensure that folks have access to affordable housing in Jersey City.
Nice. And reducing the stigma is key, right? Because when we hear affordable housing, it's automatically assumed like low income, right? But it could be working poor, middle income, and it's still not affordable for those of us who are in higher income brackets. So,
and $1,800, who could, like, for a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, like $1,800, that isn't affordable, right? And so we want to be very particular when we say affordable, that we're acknowledging the low to moderate income families.
absolutely. So I want to give you a little bit of a break, and I want to give our viewers some time to see what we've been doing, throughout the campaign. So we have some B-roll that we're going to roll for you guys, so you can see who's supporting us, who we've been visiting on the campaign trail, and what we've been up to.
The best part of this entire process for me is a chance to meet you all. From block to block and event to event across Jersey City, I genuinely enjoy meeting you as well as listening to you. I listen to your concerns and the expectations you have for our city's leadership. I listen to your stories about the city you and I both call home and love. I also listen to your suggestions on how where you live can be better. Listening to you helps me connect and understand the communities I enjoy serving. So the next time you see me out and about, say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
You've been quite busy hitting the pavement, right?
Yes, ma'am. But that's my favorite part of this entire process. Meeting people, connecting with people, speaking to people. I get that is what gets me excited and rejuvenated.
I get it. So let's talk about keeping in the spirit of housing, right? Let's talk about income, because the cost of living is going up, right? But incomes are not. So talk to me a little bit about what you will do to address the income equality.
And so, in general, right, we should be sure to implement by local and higher local mandates for every business, including the large entities, to get huge tax breaks to be in this city, right? If we're training our young people appropriately after graduating high school, they should have access to high paying jobs that exist right here in Jersey City. We are the #1 business district in the state, right? We want to make sure that we create more opportunities for local businesses to work with the city of Jersey City and other major anchor institutions. That's very important to me. In other words, the more dollars we keep circulating in the city, the more opportunities that we will have for everyone who live here.
Absolutely.
Everyone who lives here, yes.
So those who are watching, quick shout outs. We have Santos, who's in the building, Morgan and Patricia Spears. Thank you for watching. We also have Elisa French. Hi, Miss French. How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Excited to have you guys here, right? And if you guys have questions about housing, access, affordability, please feel free to put them in the chat so we can circle back to your questions at the end. So let's talk a little bit about, something that a lot of people had a lot of opinions about. Our mayor's $2.4 million home purchase.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You wrote an op-ed recently asking him to keep it about the issues, right? And right. So I would love for you to take this time to talk about how it is a campaign issue, if it is a campaign issue, the fact that he purchased this home.
You know, growing up in Jersey City, I I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my housing experience, my first housing experience about 10 years ago. And I bought a dilapidated home. And I thought that the only way that I could have access to, home ownership is if I, bought that type of home and renovated it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, that was the same time I got accepted to Harvard University. And so the funds that I had, I decided to invest in my education in the future. And that particular decision has followed me over into this campaign. But can you imagine, like a young man growing up in the city, who thinks that the only way to, attain some type of financial freedom is to, uh, you know, buy make such an investment, and then have that dream be deferred, right? um and so fast forward into 2021. um you know I and I'm not going to get into the how the house is purchased, right? I'm not going to talk about who the partners were and all that, because that's all in the articles and folks can definitely read that. But what I can say is, now not everyone in our city can purchase such a lavish house, right? And so we have people who are being evicted as we speak. The moratorium was just lifted, and the federal moratorium was just lifted. We have, people who haven't received the rental assistance that's necessary. But then we have our mayor. Who has purchased a $2.4 million home? The implications of that is ridiculous. And yeah, I don't think that is appropriate. And I think it's quite right, quite disrespectful to the folks of the city. And that affordability, that's yeah, the market in that particular community. We could talk about a bunch of things,
Yeah.
but just simply put, I think that it was disrespectful. And why now? Why the house? Why right now? And that's the bigger question that we have.
And so Santos just chimed in that he's making a 10K rent. What are your thoughts about that on that property? That he'll be charging 10,000 monthly rent.
I know folks who are, responsible for paying a tenth of that, and who cannot make ends meet. And it's, it's disheartening that our leader in our community just decided to make such a purchase during this time. Yeah, I think it's. I said this already. I think it's disrespectful, and as a leader, as the next leader of the city, and who has his ear to the community, I think it's very important that those who vote for him, right, that as leaders, that we are connected to those who vote for us, and he's very disconnected, and as you can tell with this purchase.
Absolutely. It was definitely a tone deaf move. I
Absolutely.
think that, it doesn't sit well with residents of Jersey City.
Ms. Brown, but that's not even the only thing, right? When we're talking about inviting Ti to Jersey City, with our youth. Yes, Ari, just give me 1 second, okay? I love you. Okay, give me 1 minute, okay? All right. Just having Ti come to Jersey City, I thought that was out of touch and disconnecting. Just a bunch of things that we see happening with this administration. You could tell that they're tone deaf to what the community needs, and it's time for a change.
Absolutely. I agree. So we're going to give you a chance, a little quick breather. We have some other video that we'd like to roll.
Thank you.
So while we're getting that queued up, just a few more shout outs. We have Elise Miles who's watching with us. Hi, Elise. Chuck is in the building. Hey, Chuck, how you
That's
doing?
my guy. That's my guy.
Nancy Rivera is also watching.
Hi, Miss Rivera.
And let's roll that video if it's available.
My name is Katie Brennan, and I'm a friend of Lewis Spears and an affordable housing professional. Lewis Spears should be the next mayor of Jersey City because he gets things done. He is grounded in the community, he does the research, he listens to the people and the experts, and then he executes.
Katie Brennan.
Hi, Katie.
So, Louis, do you want to talk a little bit about who Katie is and why she's such a powerhouse?
I absolutely love Katie. When I got accepted to NLC, she was the head of the NLC program, and she led with compassion, but she led with an iron fist. And I thought that she was amazing, and I thought it was a plus that she lived right here in Jersey City. So she is the housing guru, as I call her, and I just have a great deal of respect and love for her.
She's amazing. And I think right now, if I remember correctly, she's working in New York City.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's working in housing over there. So, thanks, Katie. Katie is like the housing guru. So, Louis, let's talk about rental assistance programs. There was a report that said Jersey City hasn't paid any money for these rental assistance programs.
These type of things really frustrates me, honestly. People are trying their best to make ends meet during this pandemic, and the way that this program was created, it was never going to help our elders or our lower income residents, the people who really needed the money the most. So here's a tip from the city, from Lewis Spears. Here's a tip for the city from Lewis Spears, a person who knows how to design programs for a target audience. There is always a way to create a program that ensures compliance, that has check and balance systems, right? To ensure that nobody is gaming the system while getting the people exactly what they need. Right. And so the fact that there was the fact that there was such a short term in terms of the application period, we needed a longer application period, right? The understanding that everyone in the city cannot necessarily access a computer with the internet safely in a pandemic. We need people who's going to have the understanding that in some pockets of our city, cash and cashless transactions take place between the landlords and the tenants. We need a program, right? That takes into account the people who need it the most, and design it and execute it with fidelity. So yeah, I hope people heard that.
Listen, that was pretty disappointing to read, right? That there's these spaces available, that there's opportunity that's not being used, for the benefit of us.
And at the end of the day, because of COVID, right? These are COVID funds, COVID related funds. So we want to ensure that it actually get to the hands of the people who need it the most, right? And so to create these stringent policies or these systems, we're really doing a disservice to the people in the community. And I specialize in creating programs for targeted audiences, and I can't wait to become mayor and create systems for people who really need it, and ensure that it gets to those individuals and those families.
Absolutely. And so I saw that we have Chris from the Heights. Let me tell you something,
Chris.
Chris. I need you to share this live, right? I need you to tag everybody you know in the Heights, because we need the Heights on board. So, Chris from the Heights, you have some work to do right now. I need you to share the live. I need you to tag everyone you know from the Heights. We thank you so much for tuning in. because we need the heights. We've been doing a lot of work up there, a lot
All
of
right. A
around.
lot of walking around. We were just up there yesterday. Yes.
Really
Yes.
nice, nice.
Mhm.
So let's see who else is supporting Louis Spears, because we have quite a few. Some people are shy, but those who aren't shy, you know, they were willing to go on camera and talk a little bit about why they're supporting you. And while we're getting ready to roll that video, guys, get your questions in, because we're ready to field some from the community. What do you guys want to know? What are your questions?
My name is Michelle Lewis Bellamy, and I am Louis Spears' campaign manager. Louis had the opportunity to leave and not come back to Jersey City, and he didn't. All that he learned, everything that happened, he could have taken that other places, made a lot of money like a lot of people do. And what he did was he came back here, and he came back here for the young men, the young women, all the people in Jersey City who he feels that he can help. And I think with that kind of commitment, he will be the best choice for Jersey City.
Shelly.
Oh, anybody would know, she would know.
Right. Right.
So, Louis, let's talk about the MUA. Where do you stand on the MUA?
It's very simple. We want to repeal and refund the MUA, repeal it and give us our money back, right? We're not giving people we're not giving people in the pandemic the relief that they need. And we're still taxing them sorry, and we're still being taxed, because I'm taxed as well, the 300 additional dollars on top of that. Again, I don't think that Mayor Fulop understands the people of Jersey City. If he did, he would know that $300 is a lot for our families, right? Or an elder, right, who is on fixed income, or a single parent who is just trying to make ends meet. The city needs to address this issue immediately. So great that it was paused, right? Thank you. But it needs to be replaced and repealed immediately, and that's the only way to make this right with our residents of our community.
That was a big concern for residents. And I also think there were issues with transparency, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, right, it's a backdoor deal. It's very clear that it was a backdoor deal. And as a resident who lives here, who is paying mortgage, who's paying for my kids' daycare, right? Um, in addition to $300 really makes a difference. That means that I won't be able to pay for new sneakers for my kids to go to school, because I'm paying the money for the MUA tax, the backdoor MUA tax. We need leadership who's responsible to the community. This is disrespectful. I know I keep saying the same thing, but they're out of touch, and we deserve better as Jersey City residents.
Absolutely. And Deborah Armstrong had a question. I can't see it right now. I know it related to the development of high rises. Okay, she says, please tell me how can the mayor continue to keep getting away with allowing developers to come in and continuing to build high rises everywhere? When is it going to stop and pause? So, Louis, what are your thoughts on overdevelopment, right? And them throwing up these high-rise buildings. I have my own thoughts about population park and all that stuff, but what are your thoughts on that?
And so there's a zoning, right? And there's a planning committee. All are supposed to be independent of the mayor. But unfortunately, we have those two committees that are very connected with the mayor and working with the mayor. So essentially, whatever it is that he's suggesting and the things that he wants, essentially we're working with him to ensure that it happens under my leadership. It's very important that they really act in the best interest of the community. I know for me, just getting my son to school in the morning is very difficult because of how, how many more cars are on the roads, or which is directly connected to how many more folks we have living here. And it's definitely a short-sighted uh, plan idea, right? So and building all of these new developments, right? There should be a more robust a plan that goes with it. So now we're not just focusing on the buildings, right? We're talking about infrastructure. We're talking about traffic patterns. We're talking about schools. We're talking about grocery stores. We're talking about just systems around building new buildings, not just building new buildings, right? And so it's very important that we understand these systems as a community and know why you should vote for Lewis Spears.
Hey, let me tell you something. You know, it's really a difficult thing, right? When you see all of this development happening and you're not a part of it, also,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
your concerns and your visions and your opinions are not taken into account, and you see all of this growth and everybody keeps talking about that, the city is moving forward and the town is growing, and it's like when you're not a part of that and you feel like you're getting left behind, it's saying something to the residents.
And let me be clear, I'm not anti-developer, right? I'm not anti-development. I am anti-irresponsible development, right? We want sustainable development here in Jersey City. I
Yeah.
couldn't get that out. We want sustainable development here. We want to ensure that all of our residents benefit from the opportunities that developers bring to the city. And that means that we need responsible corporate citizens in Jersey City, companies that are willing to do their part to hire locally, right? We need companies to invest in our schools and also our young people. We need to be clear that economic development is more than cutting ribbons and press conferences. It's about building business infrastructures that last and that ripples into every community in this city, not just for the well connected and the wealthy.
Absolutely.
Hi,
It's
mom.
We have Rose Murray watching, and Lewis's mom, the future mayor's mom, is watching.
I
Hi,
love you, mom.
Tina. Thanks for watching. And Lewis, you,
Mhm.
you talked about businesses, right? And so Jersey City is like prime real estate for businesses, especially in New York City, right? So what is your message to them, who want to do work here? And their services are not necessarily benefiting the residents here. What do you have to say to those people who want to come in, those big businesses and companies who want to do work in Jersey City?
So, if you're gonna want to do work in Jersey City, we need you to have a love for the people of the city, right? It's not just come in to build and to develop. It's really to figure out to create a ecosystem around the development. And we are fighting so that folks are not displaced. We need folks who want to stay in Jersey City to be able to stay. And as a leader in a community, and as an administration, it's our responsibility to create the parameters to protect those in our community, and we haven't done that. And as your new mayor, my goal is to do exactly that: create parameters so that we can live in an ecosystem, so that those who want to stay here in Jersey City will be able to do that.
That's right. Stay with Speed.
Stay with Spears,
Yes.
please. We need you.
The Spears family, I know, is a big, huge supporter. Many of them are watching today. So I think this is one of the first times where your mom was on, your cousin Crystal is on, your
Hi, Kristen.
Nika is on, your cousin Patricia and Morgan are on.
Yes.
The family is representing hard for you tonight, as well as others.
The
Mark Williams is sending um, greetings to you, Diana. Miss Bell. Hi, Miss Bell.
Miss Bell. Every time I think of Miss Bell, I think of her late husband, who has served as a force in my life, and I wouldn't be where I am without Mr. Michael Bell. So kudos to her and her late husband. I love you, Miss Bell.
And Louis, your sister is also watching as well. She's here. Hi,
Hi,
Kamisha.
Misha. Hi.
So let's see who else is supporting Mr. Spears. And while we're queuing up that video, there was a question about gun safety. I'm going to implore you to look at the other videos. We talked about gun safety a couple of weeks back. So in that video, you talked extensively about your plan and your visions for making Jersey City a safe place to raise children, for us to live and work.
Yes.
So
And in that platform, I talk about the short term and the long term plans, right? And then talk about how we're all going to work in concert to ensure that. And I just want to give space and acknowledge the shooting that was at 7-Eleven in the square yesterday. I mean, a couple of days ago. I'm sorry, and I've said this before: a threat to safety anywhere is a threat to safety everywhere. And as a community, it's very important that we create parameters and safety measures so that we all can live here safely.
nice. And so we have a video from a former colleague of
Oh wow!
yours.
I know Louis Spears because he and I go way back to PS14. We became friends in middle school. He and I also worked together in Trenton, New Jersey. Louis should be the next mayor of Jersey City simply because he has the heart, he has the passion, he is a collaborative leader, he is homegrown, and he puts his money where his mouth is. He doesn't just talk about it, he's always been about it. So he's traveled around the world, but he always finds his way back home to Jersey City. I'm Siobhan McMillan, proud principal of Oxford Picture High School in Philadelphia, PA.
Oh,
Wow. This is my first time seeing these videos too, by the way. So I'm like all giddy right now.
those are fun. Look, I'm enjoying watching the videos also, though. And we're going to have
Right.
more coming. So we were recently certified. Woo, woo.
Oh
Woo.
my gosh.
Yeah, on that.
Yeah.
Some people use DocuSign, but I won't bring it up. But we made it. How are you feeling about that?
Oh man. So, just thinking about growing up in the projects where folks traditionally are disposed, right? And having access, speaking of access, right? Having access to the number one position of the city. I don't take it lightly. And I feel very honored and proud that folks went out of their way to support the campaign by getting their loved ones, getting their support systems to sign petitions and to turn it in on time. Uh, I am revived by that experience, and I'm just forever grateful. And Ms. Brown, I'm the seventh African American in the history. 201 years of Jersey City's existence. I'm the seventh African American uh, to engage in this process. So I'm very grateful. Um, and yeah, let's take Jersey City back, Jersey City.
Let's do it.
I'm ready. And accessing the office of mayor, it would give me no greater pride than to do just that.
Absolutely. And we're all rooting for you. It's an exhilarating experience, right? To
Mhm.
be front and center with you, watching as you go through this process, the highs, the lows, the uncertainties. But you're coasting. Like,
And let me just say, like my former students, the young people in the community who are getting engaged in this process,
yeah.
is indescribable. We're talking to folks, and the younger folks are wanting to get more and more involved and wanting to figure out, how can they, support not just me but the movement. I'm very excited, very excited.
And you have a bunch of folks out there who are excited also. So we're going to roll another video, a supportive video. You probably haven't seen this, and the public hasn't seen it yet either. So
Oh, wow.
we're all
Okay.
doing it for the first time.
Our community is what we envision it to be. We believe in a diverse and an inclusive Jersey City where all residents are lifted up during times of prosperity and all residents are supported when times are tough. We believe in a strong community where no resident fears walking down any street in our city. We believe in a world-class education for our kids so that every child can thrive in life and in the professions of their choice. We believe in transparency in government with all public employees acting as public servants for the greater good. We believe in economic opportunities for all adults in this city to be able to thrive and to earn an honest and fair living wage. And united, we are the answer to achieving this vision. On November 2nd, vote Lewis Spears for Mayor of Jersey City.
God damn it. Our graphics person did an amazing job with that. Look, I'm teary-eyed. Yeah, we do believe.
Yeah.
That video was like, you see all of those people?
Yeah.
All of those photos? I'm like, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so Elisa French, she says, we're grateful that you're stepping up. And we are. This is an exciting time.
Mm-hmm. Stop, because I'm going to start crying.
Sorry. So let me do some shout outs. Miss Millen. Cordell is watching. Tony King is watching. Hi, Tony. And so Cordell is asking about COVID testing sites. Jersey City needs to change. I'm tired of seeing the neighborhoods from Bergen Avenue down to Garfield experiencing crime and destruction of the environment. But West Side and downtown Jersey City looks like another world. And so, absolutely. So I guess that wasn't necessarily a question, but more of a comment. His observations about what Jersey City is looking like from his perspective and his vantage point. And so Cordell, he's asking about you posting your platform. If you visit spearsforjerseycity.com, you can visit and read about all of his vision, the platform, the state platform, from the S to the T, the A, the Y, all of that. Our next live will be the Y.
Yes. And with so much demand, Ms. Brown, we might have to do it next week.
Okay.
No pressure.
Okay. You want to talk briefly about what the Y stands for?
The Y is yours. Jersey City is ours. Yeah. I know that many of us feel like we're being pushed out or pushed aside because we don't have enough money or we're not connected to the right people. But I'm here. I am the voice for all of us to let you know that Jersey City is yours. Jersey City is ours, and we're going to stand in that space, and we're going to be intentional about how we're going to make Jersey City a better place for all of us.
Absolutely. Do you have any final thoughts?
Oh man. So
no pressure.
So I want every resident, right, who's wondering, should they roll for me or not, right, to ask themselves, has Jersey City, are you better off now than we were 8 years ago? And if you're not, right, does Mayor Fulop deserve another chance to lead the city? Right, I'm coming with very clear ideas on how Jersey City can be made more equitable for everyone. And I'm letting you know how I intend to run my administration by the transparency and accountability with which I am running my campaign, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. So come out and meet me as I move around the city. Let's talk about policy ideas.
Today.
It's real though. It's real, and many folks are. That's the sentiments of most folks. And let's work together to build Jersey City, that all residents will be proud of.
Absolutely. And so a couple of more shout outs because I'm seeing a bit more comments. We have Sharon watching, Kim.
Hi, Sharon. Oh, Kim. Wow. Kim. I knew Kim as like a kid.
Wow, nice.
Hi, Kim. Terry is like my aunt.
Terry says she loves her shirts. So that is a shameless plug for you guys to visit our website so that you can purchase a Spears for Jersey City t-shirt, hoodie, hat, mug. We have all of the merch. I'm excited.
Bumper stickers? No.
We do. We have those as well. Bumper stickers, lawn signs. So please reach out in the DMs, direct messages, emails, because we want to get the signage to you if you want it. If you want to put it up in the store, let us know. If you have a business in Jersey City, because
Your homes.
Yes, your homes. We want to make sure that we get the name, face recognition across Jersey City. Oh, Rose Murray says she's ordered a tote.
Oh, wow. Nice, Rose.
Martin Banks is also watching.
How are you, sir? How are you? Wow.
Nice.
God bless you too, Margaret.
So listen, guys, we are still looking for volunteers. We meet every Tuesday at O'Leary's. Lewis always provides great appetizers. So I show up for the apps. So if you come and you want to learn more about what we're doing, the blocks that we're canvassing, please make sure you come out to O'Leary's. We meet every Tuesday. What time on Tuesday?
6:30 to 7:30.
6:30 to 7:30. Come out for that. We talked about merch. You have a fundraiser coming up. Yeah, we actually have quite a few events coming up. September 23rd fundraiser at Liberty Prime.
And this is the last fundraiser. And so we want to ensure that folks come out to hear the message, to be energized, and to hear the vision for the city. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it.
And any of our former students, we're having an alumni mixer also. So be on the lookout for the flyer for that event. It's going to be fun. So we're definitely trying to target that 18-year-old to 30-year-old bracket with that event because, you know, they are the future. We want to get you guys registered to vote. Did I miss anything?
Ms. Brown, do you realize that my former students go up to about 27 years old? 28, 27 years old.
Wow.
I feel really old right now. So I have kids who are 18. I have kids who are 18 all the way to 27, 28. So yes, really excited about engaging them.
And just a quick note, bumper stickers, posters, lawn signs, those things are free. So, you know, you don't have to purchase those. You know, if you let someone from the campaign know, we can make sure we get those to you. Cordell says, congratulations, Mr. Spears. I'm with the National Action Network, Jersey City. Sam Goodman is chapter president. We would love to have you join one of our meetings. Thank you so much. We'll make sure that his campaign manager reaches out to you and gets the schedules going for that.
Thank you.
So make sure you guys tune in next week. Stay with us.
Yes.
We're in the home stretch.
Very exciting.
You want to sing to them on the way out?
No, not tonight. I don't want to. I don't want to upset anyone. My voice isn't that great right now.
Michelle, his campaign manager. The link is in the comments. Her email. Yes, please email Michelle at spearsforjc.com. And thanks again for watching. And have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Jersey City made me who I am today.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how
My name is Lewis Spears. I am an educator and community leader, and I will be the next mayor of Jersey City.